Welcome to Toe to Toe, a podcast for realtors where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. There are many ways for realtors to achieve success. The secret is to find which approach will work for you. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Toe to Toe. I'm Jen Mertland, and I am here with my constant opponent, Monica Weekly.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, each episode, we choose a different real estate topic to battle about, and we go toe to toe, arguing our differing opinions.
All right, our number one goal is to help you, the fearless realtor, to find a path that feels authentic to you. Because when you build your business based on a style and a set of standards that truly fits who you are, that's when your business will thrive and you'll love what you do. So during today's throwdown, Jen and I will be duking it out over this question. Should agents use pre-listing packets, and should they deliver them prior to going on the listing appointment? So should agents utilize the pre-listing packet prior to going on the listing appointment?
All right, let the throwdown begin. Monica, why don't you get us started today?
I get to start off again today. Okay, let's do it. All right, here's my opinion on this. Well, my opinion's based on what I've done for 16 years. I have never used the pre-listing packet.
Oh my God.
I have. Listen to you. Just wait a second. I have never. I understand how they're supposed to be used. I understand some inherent value. However, for me, I do an extremely thorough pre-listing, like a pre-qualification process, set of questions, same questions. I'm asking all the hard questions. I'm not afraid of walking away from a deal or saying no. I really am not. However, my process does not need or allow for that interim step between that pre-qualification and when I show up on the door ready to wow them. Just don't need it. I think.
Then why do you think other people do it?
Maybe their listing presentation is
like all the other successful agents.
I know some very successful agents that don't have that step.
Clearly.
They don't think, oh gosh, that wouldn't be nice.
I meant besides you.
I can't think of their names right now, but they're out there.
Right.
If you do not use a pre-listing packet, please comment below to tell Jen. Anyway, I'm not saying that there's not merit in them for sure. I'm saying it's not necessary to win and earn business.
Look, Monica, here's the deal. We ask a lot of pre-qualifying questions. I want to say I can't remember exactly, but there's like 18 of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know, how many are in yours?
At least that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Probably have the same one.
It's probably pretty close. I mean, there's only so many questions, let's be honest.
Right.
And the most important one is if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, do you plan on signing the paperwork and listing it with me tonight?
Right. Do you have
or
a key
when
ready?
I come out?
That's right. Close it. Yep.
Exactly. So the pre-qualification before you go out, pre-qualifying hard, like being okay to walk away, like we're totally in alignment on that. We use that dropping off of the pre-listing packet because it has our marketing plan in there, like literally a written plan of how we're going to get the house sold, because they want to know three things. What the hell are you going to do for me? Mm-hmm. How long is it going to take? And how much money am I going to get? Right?
Right on.
On that. Okay. Right. So that packet answers it. We also even put the price that we want to list their home for, that we think that the market is saying is the likely sale price. And we do that because sometimes they have to go through the grief process.
Or you end up opening the door to a grizzly bear on the other side when you walk up because they're so pissed off about what you dropped on their doorstep.
Perfect. Pissed off people are the best. They are the most motivated people because they really want to get it done. If they didn't want to get it done, they wouldn't be pissed off, right?
Well, right.
I want them to go through that whole process, and they 9 out of 10 times begin to understand that their house is likely not worth what they think it is. So then I'm spending less time at their house helping them go through the grief process and more time signing paperwork.
So you drop that thing off. They see that you're recommending a price that makes them want to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Some other agent knocks on their door in between the time you drop that off and the time of your appointment. And that agent says, I can get your house sold for this. And they sign with her or him before you even show up because you've...
That really doesn't happen.
Really?
No.
Never happened? Good for you.
I mean, it of course it has, but it really doesn't, because usually they have agreed to meet with us for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I also call them. So we'll drop it off. We've done the pre-qualification. Then we tell them as part of that, we're going to be dropping off a packet. Do you have time to look at it before I arrive on Thursday at 4? Then they say yes. Then I call them and say, hey, we dropped it off. Did you get it? Yes. Great. Okay. Do you have a chance to look at it before I come out Thursday at 4? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Okay. Then I say, did you look at it before I go out there? So I'm touching them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And to use your words, building that relationship with them. So they will likely meet with me. I've also asked them, who else are they meeting with? When they're meeting with them, things like that. So we already know that. Now they will say, hey, that price doesn't look right. Because I'll ask them, do you have any questions before I come? And they could say, hey, what's your commission? The price doesn't look right, blah, 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 blah. Great. We're going to talk about that right first thing. I'm going to write it down. First thing when I get there, we're going to chat.
Got it. Makes sense. I'll tell you, I think one thing that might be different is probably if you laid our listing presentation, or I call it, because Amy Brookhammer gave me this language. She's an agent here in Cincinnati, and she calls it a pricing strategy meeting, which I really like better than listing presentation. Anyway, if you laid those two appointments side by side, you and I bet they look very different. And so the reason I don't need that packet ahead of time is because they don't, honestly, I have probably let's say out of 100 listing appointments, maybe 5 people have asked me specifically, how am I going to get the house sold? Because my listing presentation starts off with a very deep dive into supply and demand. And I am showing them a story about the market that they haven't seen from any other agent because of the way I lay it out. Right. And they automatically trust me right away because I'm showing up different, telling them something that makes total sense to them that no other agent has likely explained in the way
it's really professional. I've seen it. I mean, it's pretty good because you go from like high level to low. But how long are you at the appointment usually?
That depends on a couple things. How much I know them, how much time we've spent, how motivated they are. Kind of, if they're a high D, it's around 20 minutes. Even if they're a high C, the high C's love those numbers. If it's an I and I'm an I, we're there for an hour, dude. I mean, we're hanging out.
See, I like to set it up. I feel like dropping off the pre-listing packet sets you up differently too, just like you're saying that your presentation does. A lot of agents don't drop it off. And usually if we are competing, it's usually only 1 or 2 agents. It's not like 50 agents, right?
True.
The chances of them having a pre-listing packet is pretty slim. And so that already sets us apart. Plus, I've communicated with them throughout the process, which you and I both know is like the number one reason that people say they don't like realtors is because they don't communicate. So we've already, before I even got there, set that up. And so our goal, and sometimes this happens, because we include the contract, I have, on many occasions, walked into the house and it's been signed.
And that is a thing of beauty.
Man, that's I wish that would happen 100% of the time. And I have not figured out that piece, but when I do, I'll let you know.
Yeah. And you know what? That's never happened to me because I've never, ever set it up to be able to happen. So I'll give you that. And I think you hit on it a little earlier, and I'm just having this aha actually right now. The point is to stand out.
Right. You're right.
Because of what I do, like nobody shows them the supply and demand of their segment of their market like I do.
Yeah.
No,
right.
Well, a couple other people. Nobody might show up like you do with the pre-listing packet and all the communication that's going on between those two appointments, right? And so I think that might be the takeaway here is figure out something that you do really well that stands out from other agents.
And that's professional, not like something silly. I don't know.
Yeah, not move popcorn and like
Whatever. Anyway, all right. I think that wraps it up for us. Let's go back to your corner, Monica. I'll go back to mine. We're going to take a short break and hear a word from our sponsor. When we return, we're going to have the final punches.
Do you have an entrepreneur mindset? Do you believe in the power of building wealth versus just selling houses? There's a new kind of business model for realtors, and you owe it to yourself to see why top agents and teams are aligning their future with the fastest growing real estate company in the world. eXp Realty, tomorrow's brokerage today. For more information or a private discussion, go to the Toe to Toe Podcast Facebook page and send a private message telling us you'd like to learn more about eXp Realty.
All right, welcome back. Now, before we ring the bell for the final round, let's turn now to today's toe-to-toe heavyweight agent. Today, I'm welcoming Brian Kelly with Keller Williams in the Northern Kentucky market. Hi, Brian.
What's up, Monica?
Welcome to the Toe to Toe podcast. Jen and I are psyched you're here.
Thank you. I didn't know it was a toe-to-toe battle royale. I'm pumped now.
That's right. Somebody's going down.
I'm going to start climbing up to the top rope.
That's right. Oh, no, it's not WWE. It's just a traditional.
What? I'm out of here.
All right. Jen and I are talking about the pre-listing packet, this idea that divides our entire industry. Do you do a pre-listing packet? Do you not do a pre-listing packet? Do you do something in the email that sort of resembles it? We want to ask you, our heavyweight agent today, what do you do before you go on a listing appointment?
That is a good question. And it was a fun question when you originally asked me about it because you said, do you do a pre-listing packet? And I said, what's that?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was a joke, obviously, but I have battled that a little bit when I first started. And I thought one of my biggest selling points that I feel I have is the face-to-face or the relational part of selling, being on the phone with somebody and being able to talk to them as a normal person, not sales pitchy, like, hey, let me sell your house. Not one of those type of deals, but literally talking to them as a normal person, like if I was talking to my sister and I wanted to help her sell a home. I feel that if I sent them a bunch of information about their home, or a bunch of listings or comparables, a lot of the things that people put in those or in those packets, that I might be giving up too much information for them to actually meet me, and that's my strength. So why would I dodge my strength? And that's meeting them in person and being able to build a connection with them.
Okay, so you're fearful, or your thought is that if you give them too much up front, they'll either get the wrong impression or they won't get the impression that you want to give them when you're sitting there with them creating relationship.
Correct.
Okay.
And that is why I do what I had told you about. And I do this with just about anybody. If I get a call-in lead off of an ad, if somebody calls me for the first time that I was referred by a friend, once I get done with that conversation, I send them a text, or even if, sometimes you get leads and they're just from text or an email, I give them a bit of basic information, and then I follow that up with, hey, here's a link to my Facebook page so you can see what I do in my real estate business. Talk to you soon.
So you let that be sort of your resume in some way.
Yes, because if you do a good Facebook page in your business, I live and die by Facebook. I push it all the time. I push video all the time for other agents that are just coming in. And I tell them, get on there and start making videos. I remember when I posted my first video and I thought, oh, it looks so stupid with just one video on there. But as you do it more, it's great, because now if you just start doing it, next thing you know, when I pull it up, I'm like, holy cow, I got a lot of videos on there. And it shows, for somebody who doesn't know me, they see I'm a full-time agent. I'm dealing with clients. I'm dealing with issues. I'm dealing with the community. And I think that's the biggest resume you can put out there.
There's a huge aha there for our listeners. I love this, because what you've done is just kind of make your resume come alive. And you've conveyed to them a level of credibility through them kind of seeing what you've been doing. And, a pre-listing packet, you can make look any way you want it. And it can be false, it can be misleading, it can be not accurate, or it could be perfectly accurate. But what they're seeing from you on Facebook is what is real and who you are to your clients, who you've been long before they maybe met you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And your business is about 75-25 listings to buyers, correct?
It is. Hallelujah. We were just talking about that. I'm so pumped. I mean, it took a lot of focus and just kind of change your direction of what you're working on. But it's weird. A lot of sayings out there by a lot of people that you get what you focus on, or who knows, there's a lot of versions of it. Sure. So that's what I did 2 years ago. And I remember going from, oh my goodness, if I sold 20% of my deals a year were listings, I was ecstatic. And I remember hearing other people on podcasts or videos you watch, like, oh, I'm 90% listing. I'm like, oh, shut up, you suck. But how did they get there? And I think it's what you focus on.
Yes,
Really.
Absolutely. Well, congrats to you and all your success. And you are, in fact, a heavyweight agent, and we appreciate your time.
Oh, you're awesome. Thanks. You guys are great, and I appreciate what you do.
All right. See ya.
All right, thanks. You are a heavyweight champ in real estate. Now let's get back to the show and close out with our final round. All right, Monica, I'm timing you. 1 minute to close your argument, then it'll be my turn.
You time me and it stresses me out. All right, here it is. I was a lead listing agent for a top producing team here in Cincinnati for 2 years. All I did was go on listing appointments and land them. I never once delivered a pre-listing packet to the house. Now, did I get every single listing? No, but I had a very high percentage that I put up against most agents anywhere in this country, and I didn't use the strategy of the pre-listing packet. So I don't believe it is a necessity in order to show up professionally and or get great results. There you go. How was that?
It was fine.
What do you have to say? Let's hear your closing remarks.
Do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So I think you definitely need to have the pre-listing packet. I think you need to have in there a written plan of how you're going to get their house sold, what you believe the market will say that it's worth, and how long it's going to take. Because these answer their top questions. It makes you look like a professional. You stand out. And so by the time you get there, they've probably already decided who they're going to list with. And let's just make sure it's you.
That is a good point. And we are going to close out on that point. Let's end today's battle. Do you, our great listeners, do you think there was a knockout today? Once again, is Jen on the ground? Am I laying on the ground?
Yes.
All right, go to our Facebook page and comment and vote. Who do you think won today's toe-to-toe battle? All right, Rockstar Realtors, I hope you have enjoyed today's battle. We hope you heard something here that helps you get clarity on your path and your standards on this subject.
Thanks for listening to Toe to Toe Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get updates when we have new episodes. And we truly love your feedback and appreciate all likes, reviews, and shares. We'd also love to hear your suggestions if you have any for future topics.
See you, Jen.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Toe to Toe Podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get updates when new episodes are available. And we truly love feedback and would appreciate all likes, reviews, and suggestions for future topics.